Hi, Kip Nexus families. Happy Friday. Today is the end of week 3, and I hope that you have had some successes. I want to come to you for a couple of different reasons, but the first thing is I want to say sorry to all of you who tried to sign on to yesterday's mom support groups. I am not sure why those links to enter the support group are not working and why they were asking for a password. They were the same links as last week, and I didn't set them up for a password. So I promise that I am working on that, and I will have that corrected by the time our support groups are going to meet next week. So please join. Also, I had a couple people contact me about concerns about being Spanish speaking. Our support groups are bilingual. I have a translator, Miss Ventura, that is signing on with me for every support group. So if you speak Spanish, you are going to be able to participate. I want to share with you some exciting things parenting tips that I had for you to share with the support group. So if you were not able to get on, I wanted to share these tips. This is taken right from Psychology Today. That is a little like emotional support psychology journal that I get articles from all the time. And this was like so timely. This is 10 tools to help keep things kind of in order during this time. And I wanted to share these tips with you. So number 1, to help during these times, always identify your child's strengths. When you identify your child's strengths, it helps them to build self-esteem and helps them to gain confidence so that whenever they're dealing with something difficult, they feel better about themselves. Children are more willing to listen and understand how to correct adverse behaviors if their dignity is intact while you do it. Number 2, punishing a child is not always as effective as giving positive praise. We do that at school. So instead of always looking at the negative things that they're doing, sometimes you can point out the things that they're doing that you want them to do. And when they get that positive praise, they want to repeat that action. It also feels much more positive for yourself. So rather than focusing on the weaknesses or the places where they're not doing what you want them to do, find ways to develop their full potential by encouraging them to do the things that you want. Number 3, avoid negative emotional reactions such as anger, sarcasm, or ridicule. Like there's going to be times where you're super frustrated during these times being with your children all day long and trying to be parent and trying to be teacher. Make sure that you always say positive things, even in your anger. If you have to walk out of the room, count to 10, take a break, and then go back. That's the best way to handle it. Number 4, don't compare siblings. Each child is an individual. They're going to learn individually. They're going to respond to things individually. If a child thinks his brother or sister is more favored, it will create rivalry, and the children will fight more, which will make your world much more problematic. Make sure that your kids know that they are loved equally, but in unique ways according to their personality. Number 5, get support if you need it. We're not superheroes right now, ever. There's no rule book to parenting, and we always need to ask for help. Life with children is a roller coaster ride. Understanding there's going to be negative points to child rearing, and during those times, ask for professional advice. I'm here. The support group is here for you. There's teachers here. There's friends. You have grandparents, you have family members. Always ask for help when you need it. 6, children need a lot of positive attention. If you feel like your kids are just and being super negative, especially super whiny, when my children were little, I noticed that if my kids were whining, it means I was allowing them to have way too much tech time. Take the technology away and give positive family interactions. Spend time reading books. Spend time playing games. Children learn so much with games. And see if it doesn't take away some of that negative behavior. Number 7, monitor your children's internet use, especially right now when we're doing so much on the internet. You want to make sure that you are knowing what they are watching. Please do not leave your child with YouTube unattended. Even if it's the child channel and you have child locks on, predators have ways to get through all of those child filters to get to your children. Plus, if they see something that they don't understand, you want to make sure that you're there to give them the message that you want them to have. Number 8, accept that life has changes when you have a child. So like lazy Saturday afternoons no longer are much of a thing when you have children, right? You get busy, you have to get up early and fix cereal and, when you're used to maybe being lazy. This is one of those exact times. Like when you have a child, you have to accept changes. Right now, unfortunately, our children are getting their education through their parents, and that is something that maybe was thrust upon us when we weren't ready. But unfortunately, with children, sometimes in life with children, we have to accept changes. It'll make you feel much better if you can just try to let some things go. Number 9, parent by example. Think of your kids as little copy machines. Is that the truth? They will mimic everything that you say or do. So if you behave badly, if you're not following the rules, or if you're saying things in front of them about authority and rules, then you need to expect that they might end up taking on the same mentality about following rules. So check yourself and don't lose sight of what you're doing. Remember to always make wise choices and know that your children are watching. And number 10, don't give up on your child. Ever, ever don't give up on them. All of your children's problems can be worked through. Use a lot of humor, a lot of goodwill, and a lot of perseverance. With proper parental support, even the most troublesome kids that you are struggling with right now, will turn out to be just fine and be amazing human beings. I love y'all so much. So remember that I'm here. Thanks for everything that you're doing. You're super appreciated at KIPP Nexus. We are so thankful that you are our family. We love you. We love everything that you're doing. Next week for the support group, I'm going to do an activity with you and you are going to need some supplies. So look for that on Dojo. I'll be posting probably about Monday the link with all the information to get to the support groups next week with the supplies that you will need. Keep up the good work. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next week.